be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.
What is the deal, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all are having a good day. If this is your first time at the channel, I want to welcome you here. Pull up a seat. I hope you enjoy the content. And before we get into this food, I want to ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And go ahead and tap that bell while you're at it so you're notified anytime I drop a brand new video, go live, or schedule a premiere. All right, y'all see who it is. This is Auntie Niecy. For you guys that are here for the first time, this is my lovely mother.
Hello. How you doing? GP family.
And GP for anybody that's brand new is good people, okay? All right, y'all. So we are having some Chipotle today. These burritos, we got some chips, we got guacamole, we got some hot sauce on the side, queso, hot sauce, a lot. So let's get to it. You ready?
I'm ready and I'm hungry.
My burrito is huge. So that's yours right there.
Okay.
How y'all doing? What's going on? It has been a day, y'all.
Okay.
Have you guys had the queso from Chipotle? The queso is bomb. Where are you? Oh, you eating that?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna eat some guacamole, my favorite.
My freaking burrito is huge. I got the sofritas. So that's like the tofu option at Chipotle. And I got brown rice, black beans, sour cream, corn, cheese, fajitas. I got the works. Oh my.
That was good.
You had the sofritas before?
Is usually in a bowl? Is that what people don't do? Or you can just do it in
You can get it however. You can get it in a bowl or in a burrito.
You didn't feed the people?
She love calling me out.
You rude, Mom.
I am not rude. I showed GP family the food.
But they didn't see it when you cut it open.
They did. I cut it open. It was cut open.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, how was the day going? How was the week going?
Seems like Monday to me since the holiday.
What you get, Ma?
I got a chicken burrito with all the works.
For anybody that might have missed yesterday's video, I'm doing a giveaway for because we're in Aquarius season officially, so shout out to all the Aquarians out there. Doing a giveaway because it's my birthday coming up. And also because Valentine's Day. So it's like a Valentine's Day giveaway. And it's free to enter. But what you'll have to do is, I'm just going to ask you guys to participate. So yesterday's video, I asked you guys to let me know what you love about yourself. And it'll be videos leading up to Valentine's Day where I'll just randomly ask stuff throughout the video. So as a heads up, and every time that you participate, it gives you an additional entry into the giveaway. All right? You want some sauce?
No, I'm gonna just use this guacamole right now. Is that is it spicy?
I had a kick to it.
I'll see what I have.
You never had the queso, right?
Try this for the first time.
I wonder if you don't like it. I'm gonna give you some queso and some of their hot sauce together. I like their queso and their hot sauce. Yeah,
That's good. I like that.
And it's warm. So I bought Mom today to join me on the channel. So we can do a bit of a recap or talk about her reaction to the things that she's learned over story time, over the course of story time. Anybody brand new, I've done a series of story times where I've talked about past relationships and stuff like that, and just about my life coming out and things along those lines. So feel free to click on playlist to get caught up. So a lot of stuff my mom found out for the first time, y'all. She found out right before y'all did, or maybe at the same time that y'all found out.
I'm gonna tell you something.
What?
That story time will give your ass a whip. I'll tell you that. I was surprised. Rhonda had this secret life going on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Wow.
One of the things I want to say is that as I found these, I'm sorry, when you were in action when you were
Sincere?
sincere, you would do things, we would call you out on it, question you about it, but you were so fast on your feet, you had an answer for everything. And I never doubted the answers that you gave. It sounded, they were realistic, they were real, and there was no need for me to go back and just double check. But then after a few times and stuff, it was like, I should have did something.
I mean, what's so funny is that over the course of story time, other Aquarians in the comments have been like, yo, we some great storytellers. We got masterminds when it comes to getting ourselves out of stuff. And like I said, looking back, I guess I've been a good storyteller all my life, apparently.
Yes. Obviously.
What? And I didn't realize it. So
I didn't either, Rhonda. Then I thought about, after hearing all the story times that you were telling, I was like, dang, Mama was a liar.
I mean, nothing else you can call it but a liar. Y'all, I had stories for days. It's so many. I'm trying to think of a story. Look, one time, y'all, I'll never forget. So I used to hide my boy clothes in this like attic area in my bedroom, but it's like an attic area in the closet, right? And I don't know why I couldn't find a better place, or why I just leave it in my car or what, but I would leave clothes in this attic area, right? So what I would do was I would leave the house dressed like a girl, but then change my clothes in the car, and then on the way back home, change back into my girl clothes. So one day I was getting ready to leave. You don't even know the story I'm about to tell. I don't even know if you remember this, but I was getting ready to leave, and I had a bag like strapped around my body. Told my mama where I was going, everything checked out, had my stories all lined up. She was like, Rhonda, I really want to look at your bag. She was like, if I looked at your bag, what would I find? She was like, you gonna let me look in your bag? I was like, I mean, I just don't feel the need. I don't understand why you need to, Ma. And I talked her out of looking at this bag, but she was like nose to nose with me, ready to look in this bag. And I was trying to keep my boy clothes from her because that's where they were in that bag. And I told her something that distracted her or whatever. And then she went on to something else. But it was just like, I was always this close, y'all. Always this close.
But as nosy as I am,
Okay, you
as I were.
As you would, what? Why you still nosy, Mom?
So I remember going into your bedroom. It wasn't in the attic, but it was just in the closet. I started finding these. I seen some boots. What you call those Timberlands?
Oh, you saw some Timberland boots?
And I found these button-down shirts that looked like me. I'm checking the size of the button. Is this the right size? I was just checking it out, right, to make sure before I approached you. But when I approached you, you were telling me it was your music partners, but then that even made sense because you guys were always together.
Oh, yes,
and you were the driver.
Because I used to do music, y'all. So my homeboy James was like my music partner. We would do shows and record and stuff. We spent so much time together. So that's who I said whose clothes I had. Why I had his clothes, I have no idea. But she believed it. She didn't really question it once I said the clothes belonged to him. But it was like, I don't know. Once I would get out the house, the hardest thing was getting out the house. I could deal with everything else that came after that, but getting out the house was the hardest part because I felt like I was running out of things to do to tell you what I was doing. But then I was like, I'm in college, so I could say I'm doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And it might actually be something that's going on.
Well, that's true.
At the school. And I never felt like you was going to check the school calendar or nothing like that. So.
Well, we rolled up on school going for that party.
Y'all, one time, I don't think I included this in the story time. Or maybe I did.
I think you did.
I don't think I went into detail though. But I was hanging out at a party with my cousin Shayna. And we were out having the time of our life. My parents kept on calling me. I kept on missing the call. We having fun, y'all. I knew I was going to be home late, missing that curfew. I'm like, okay, I'm hanging out. She probably called about the curfew. So, finally y'all call back. Give my dad some story. And my mom is like basically telling me, you need to come home. It's urgency. It's an urgent situation. I'm like, why? What's going on? I think you gave me some health scare lie or some story or whatever to make me rush home. So, I rush home, y'all. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope everything is okay. Because my mom just didn't sound like herself on the phone, so I was scared. So whatever she said, I believed it. So, and this night, Shayna was staying with me. So, she stayed the night. But Shayna didn't have no girl clothes. So, I changed into girl clothes before we got home. Meanwhile, Shayna got her wave cap and hat and everything on coming into the house. I'm like, you can't go in my parents' house like that. She was like, well, I forgot my change of clothes. I'm like, damn. So, we come in the house. Shayna don't even speak to my parents. She just go upstairs. Because she nervous. I come talk to my parents. And they like, how was your event? I was like, oh, you know, it was cool. I'm lying my butt off, y'all. Then what you did, Mom? What did you tell me that y'all did?
They went up to school.
Rode around all on campus.
Well, but I think that you mentioned this in a previous.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going into detail about it, that how it went down.
I mean, the school was dark and it was quiet as heck. It was nobody on campus. It was a guy that was like, he was like maybe a late custodian on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just telling me that everything was, there was nothing happening on campus. Nothing. And then another thing too is like, you rarely went or participated in anything at school, because once you left Fullerton, you never really went back, because you weren't really active.
What do you mean was all that Fullerton? I went to Fullerton.
No, I'm talking about like, you know, you would never go back to campus for
Events?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, all the times I told you I had college events, you believed it, right? Or you thought stuff was off campus, or?
Well, yeah, but I never. That's the thing. It was like, it was nothing. You never really went back on campus to participate on it.
Mm-hmm.
With things, but with dances and things like that, they could be anywhere. The school was hosting.
Oh, okay, I got you. You saying that even though I didn't go back, might not have gone back on campus, it could have been somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but this night I said that the event was on campus.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
And we were just very suspicious. And at that point, I think that we just got probably, knew that
Something was going on.
mm-hmm. Too many incidentals.
And I was out every weekend, y'all. Every weekend. Every single weekend I had somewhere to go. And now, mind you, you guys have been around and heard that, when I was younger, I was very quiet, very much an introvert. So I think for a long time, my parents didn't question stuff because they were happy that I was out and doing stuff and meeting new people.
And when you were involved and started being involved in the activities in high school, I mean, you were really involved. I mean, you did a 360 to doing nothing to being involved in all these dances, whether it was prom, midwinter, Sadie Hawkins. I was buying outfits for every dance and everything that you did. Mm-hmm. So and I didn't, because I just knew that you had started meeting a lot of new people.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you were on the go. You were on the go. I think I had said before too, is that through all this experience, I just think it's nice that if there's anybody out there, parents, and your kids are coming to you or you suspect anything, it's just to have a conversation and try to start to understand it, because, you had a crazy life.
Look,
You were very secret.
I didn't realize it was that deep, and I had so much going on until I did story time, because I've never had to really sit down and reflect on anything. Like, I lived it. It happened. I came out, and I just kept on going. You know what I mean?
How did you feel about yourself, though? I mean, you were telling all these lies. I mean, how did you feel?
I didn't feel bad, because I felt like the focus was me having a chance to understand who I was and what I liked and what I wanted. So I didn't feel like I was hurting anybody, because I wasn't. Physically, I wasn't hurting anybody. You know what I mean? I mean, the lies are not good. You know what I'm saying? That hurt our relationship. But, I mean, I didn't feel like I was physically hurting anyone. And you know how it is. Like, when you are just so focused on doing something, which was just finding self. And I feel like all of us deserve that. So I know some people out there are probably struggling with that. When you're so focused on that, you're going to do whatever it takes to, you know what I'm saying, to go to do it. So how did I feel about myself? I didn't feel like I was hurting anybody. And I was willing to take the risk of, like, missing my curfews and stuff like that, because I felt like that whatever happened to our relationship, that we would have been able to bounce back.
Yeah, but at any point during that time, did you ever feel that that we would find out? Like,
yeah,
seriously?
I think eventually at some point, yeah.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have. I think it was really full blown to us that, yeah, this is the life that Rhonda is living. You were prepared for that as well.
I mean, we would have got there eventually. I couldn't live my life in a closet forever. I couldn't live a life of not being honest with y'all for the rest of my life. That's just not realistic. I mean, and when I finally told y'all, even though there were things that led up to it, I wasn't even living at home. So there's still that fear, you know, like you don't want to ever get to that road. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You don't ever really want it to happen. But I mean, eventually I know we would get there. But I am glad that I wasn't living at home, I'll tell you that. Because I think y'all would have kicked me out. I mean, even though y'all told me I wasn't welcome back to the house, I had somewhere to go. I lived on my own. So I think that it happened the way that I wanted it to. I mean, well, I guess it wasn't ideal for it to happen at a house party, but you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. What's so funny, y'all, is that a week before the house party went down, to my coming out party, when I was heard he say it, I called my 25th party my coming out party. That's what I call it now, as a joke. Because now we can look back on it and laugh. But what I'm saying is that the week before, me and my mom we went to a Mexican restaurant. I'll never forget the week before. I had on a gray sweatsuit, y'all. My hair was pulled back in a ponytail. And I just had this feeling in my spirit where it was like, I was like, Mom, I want to talk to you about something.
Oh, I remember.
You kind of remember? Mm-hmm. Right? It was the week before. And I just wanted to tell her because it was just, I just wanted her to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't feel like that everything was coming to a head or anything. I just was tired of like not being honest about who I was. Mm-hmm. You remember that kind of? Mm-hmm. And she kept on asking me, well, Rhonda, what is it? What is it? And I was just kind of like beating around the bush. And I never really got around to saying anything. And then a week later, the blow up happened. So, but I was just curious about how story time made you feel. How did it feel finding out things so late in my life, though?
Well, I know there was indications and stuff. And then we questioned.
You know what I mean? How do you feel about the things some things you just found out about?
So okay. And the recent ones.
Yeah.
The recent story. Mm-hmm. I was just really surprised, right? Because that was just never you. Even when I told, even the story time about Damien, remember what happened to that boy story time? When you found out that me and Damien ditched and came to the house to have sex. How'd that make you feel? You didn't know about that. I didn't know about that.
You didn't know about that, y'all.
Because Damien was always so quiet, so respectful. I really, really liked him. And, I mean, I understand you know, hormones racing and all that. It's just that, I don't know, I was just really surprised. I was just really shocked. And then coming, you know, home.
And ditching. Because I never ditched. That was the only time I ever ditched in school, y'all. After that, before that had never ditched, after that never ditched.
Because actually when I heard it, I was like, what? You did what? Damien? You know, but I was surprised, but then, you know, nothing happened and, you know, and that was all good, but still the fact that through your story times, there's been just a couple things, so I have to go back and listen to some of your, go to your playlist to listen to some of those stories, but other than things that we were directly involved with, you know, I learned about them. I had to eventually embrace who you were. But you just had an interesting life, Rhonda, and it just was not your personality at all. You just really surprised me.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Is this really my kid? Is this the same person that I raised? Is that Rhonda? You know, so.
That's how it is, though, when you live in a secret life and just, like I said, going after who you think you are, who you want to be, you know, so.
But I can see that being real troublesome. Whatever that situation is where you have to live
a double life.
Because
I definitely wasn't sleeping good at the time in my life. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of, like, because when you think about it, once I made it through a weekend, you guys, I was thinking about the next weekend already. So I'm already anxious about, what am I going to say? What am I going to wear? Just maintaining everything. Everything always had to add up, you know, trying to stay one step ahead of my parents. Because, I mean, I was doing so good anyways. Just continuing to try to stay one step ahead for any questions y'all might have. Thinking of places I might say that I'm going. Who am I going with? Because I lived a life where my parents knew all of my friends. Yeah. So, you know, of course in college, they're not going to know everybody. But, you know, sometimes you got to sprinkle in old people with the new people. Just so it kind of makes sense, you know.
Okay.
Okay, I thought she was about to be like, Rhonda.
I should say that too, but I get it.
So, that was it, y'all. I just wanted to have Auntie Niecy on here just to see how she felt about a story time recap and, well, you know.
I have an amazing daughter, I tell you. Amazing. It was scary. You know, it was, I did feel some kind of way through the process.
Yeah. I know it's not easy hearing stuff for the very first time. Yeah.
And I was like, did she really do that?
And some stuff I had to give my mom a heads up because I didn't want her to find out on video, you know. Maybe, but I would be telling her, you guys, like right before I started filming. It wasn't like I was preparing her for like weeks at a time. I would tell her right before the filming. So So that's it.
You know what, Rhonda? I'm just, you know, at the end of the day, Rhonda, now it's just like I'm glad that you experienced what you did. I mean, you were that person then.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm way different now.
Mm-hmm. You're a much different person. I can say that, you know, honesty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're all open. We restored our relationship.
Mm-hmm. Our relationship is better now than it ever was. So we came out of that storm and were able to be stronger. Mm-hmm. It's just a family, period. Like even Daddy included. So
yeah. So I am happy about that.
Yeah.
You're just so humble about many things and open. I mean, there's no secrets, which I really enjoy.
Yeah. You'll answer everything openly, honestly now.
Yeah.
Well, so, and I have been. I mean, I've been out there for a long time, but
yeah,
this storytelling and stuff has definitely added an extra.
Taking a toll. I'm telling you, wow.
What?
Just, you know, just like you said, just hearing things for the first time. Mm-hmm. It's just a wow for a parent to know that your kid was doing all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just to try to find out. I don't know. Was that a safe place for you though? For you know, some of the things that you were doing and hanging out.
Yeah. I felt safe. People looked like me. They were dressed like me. They had the same interests at the time. We were the same age, roughly. So it was just like being amongst your peers, you know.
Right.
But there was no judgment. I mean, because at that time, being a lesbian was like so looked down upon. Right. You know what I'm saying? So things have changed a lot now. But I mean, back then it was like, you like girls? You know, it's not like that now. Like it's not a big deal if you see two women walking in the mall holding hands. You're not gonna sit and stare. Right. But back then, that's kind of how it was. You know. So. But anyway, anything else you want to add before we wrap it up, Mom?
No, I just love you, Rhonda.
I love you too, Mama. I do. I love you.
Well,
so I know, cause the other day she said on live she was taking over my channel, y'all. So
get ready for that. I'm thinking.
You thinking about it? Okay. Well,
I'll surprise you.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that works out.
Slide on right in your seat.
Thank you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I will be back tomorrow. And I'll join you in the comments if you guys have any questions. I will be right there. Also, until then, I want one thing from you, and that's to be good to yourself. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot.